I've been writing for a while. So what I do anytime I wasn't at work, I'd sit out in the woods, and a lot of times I'd have my guitar with me, and I'd come up with something in my head, and I'd figure it out and write it. And then pretty much as soon as I wrote the song, I'd record it with my phone. And now you can just upload, there's a few of them, but the one I use is called DistroKid, and I still use them even now. And you just upload it just like you're uploading a YouTube video, and it puts it on Spotify and Pandora and everything for you. And so early on I had like 10 monthly listeners, and then it was 100, and then it was like 1,000, and I think I was probably up to about, but somewhere between 1,500 and 2,000 monthly listeners. And then I started posting on TikTok a lot, and man, I was into it. I even had like, I made business cards that had like my song names and a little QR code that like went to my TikTok and my Spotify, and I'd like, anytime I saw somebody that I thought might like my use, I'd be like, man, would you just, will you check my thing out? And
I heard that's how Johnny Cash made it.
You're high tech, man.
Yeah, with the QR codes,
You're high tech.
So I went doing that for maybe like a year and a half or something, and then in July I had this, I posted Doggone It on TikTok, and it went like semi-viral. And so the A&R guys were starting to call, like Warner Records and Republic and stuff, like some of their like salespeople or whatever were calling, and I was like, man, I got to get my act together. I've never even played a show before. And so I started going to open mic nights, and the first or the second one I went to is where I met my guitarist at. He was there. It was at a seafood restaurant of all places.
Oh, wow.
And so yeah, it was like, I knew something was going to happen with music. I didn't know quite what. And I had half of Richmond written, and I put that on TikTok, and it was my most popular video out of any of them. And somehow Draven from Radio WV caught it, and the two of us talked on like a Thursday, and that Saturday he came down. I finished writing the song on Friday, so it was like we talked Thursday, I finished writing the song Friday, we recorded it Saturday, and I think like the next week he uploaded it. And so I was still working my regular job for like the first 3 or 4 days after it uploaded. And like it was at like 1 million views, and then it was at like 5 million, and people that were starting to come into the store I worked in. I was working for this gas company, and people were coming in, and they were starting to like realize it was almost surreal. And all these people started calling from all these places, and they were like, and honestly, it was overwhelming, and it felt like I couldn't trust anybody. It's like I kind of got a little paranoid, like with all these music people were calling, because I felt like they knew I didn't know much about the business, and they knew there was some potential to make money off of me. And it was just like, so I just took a big step back, and I made sure I took everything as slow as I could.
It seems smart. Very smart.
I just was like, let me just put a little. And the thing was, everybody was just like, well, this is your moment. This is your one hit, and you got to. And if you don't work with us, like everybody's going to forget about you in 3 months. And I was just like, and honestly, it was my friends and family that helped really keep me grounded. Like early on, I had friends helping me do almost everything, like helping me book the shows and helping me like figure out how to get stuff done, like every taxes and everything is like so much stuff. And so for the first 6 months, it was pretty much friends and family helping me with everything, because I just, I needed to, like, I had to learn how the business worked.
Yeah, you had a lot to do.
So
now, when was it that you uploaded that? Was that, did you say July?
We recorded it at the very end of July, I think like the last week of July, and we uploaded it at the beginning of August, like the 3rd or something.
I didn't remember exactly when it was. But
yeah, it was like August the 3rd or something, I think it went up.
When did it, like after all the hysteria, like when did it finally start to get a little bit comfortable? Like you're sort of settling into, okay.
Like a week ago? No, no, to be truthful, it's like, I still don't think I've settled it, because like I've had to figure out who to hire, like you got to have people to help you with like obviously the business management side with like taxes, and like, you're selling tickets at shows, like you can't do all that yourself, and then trying to book the shows, and you got to get somebody that, like when we went to Europe, I wouldn't have even figured out how to get on the plane to get to Europe, much less haul all of our instruments around. So it's like just trying to find the right people to help, and trying to figure out how to do things without signing contracts and without having people own, because the last thing I want to do is have somebody tell me what I can say or do. And and really, even more importantly than that, I don't want people to feel like I'm ever forgetting about them, because it's really people that allow this to happen,
Right.
Like it was really just, it was people's support. And so if I can't support the people who support me, then it's like, what the hell am I even doing this for anyway,
I think that's why the shows feel the way that they do. There's, like you said on stage, it's like a family. It really does feel like that. It's like that video. It resonated with so many people for a very obvious reason. And those are the people that come to the shows. You can feel it. You're playing the music, and you can just.
And you're relaxed, and it's it's not necessarily informal, but you know what I mean. It's kind of like this,
Yeah.
You know, there's nothing scripted, or it's not a scripted
Yeah,
feel to
right.
it, and that kind of
Yeah,
thing.
and we even rehearse very little because I almost like the magic of it being a little bit of chaos. Like it's kind of there's something exciting about
I
us
gotta
getting up
remember
there.
that line. If our video seems disjointed, we like a little chaos.